What's up, everybody? Zach here with the Nerd Cave, and I'm on the way to work today. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I just wanted to take a little bit while I was driving to work and catch everybody up on how things are doing. We had an awesome weekend. We did Eat, Sleep, Anime, which I really enjoyed. Derek and I have been planning that one for a while. We've been wanting to do it for a very long time, and finally getting to do it was fantastic. Had a lot of people show up over on the Patreon, and the reason why I wanted to do it over on Patreon exclusively for the live show is to give people that support us something a little extra. I know a lot of people support us just because they want to support us, and I appreciate that a ton. But I definitely want to start trying to do a little bit more over on the Patreon, just because people are supporting us over there, and I want to, make people feel like they're getting bang for their buck. So, trying to figure out more to do over there. Maybe I do more of these. Driving to work or driving from work, kind of, catching everybody up, giving my thoughts on different things that I might not talk about on the stream, because I know the stream is definitely more focused on, Nerd Cave News is definitely, all about video games and everything. Tuesday nights, kind of just how things have been going, books that we've been reading, that sort of deal. And then playing a game or whatever. So maybe using these as maybe daily. I don't know. I'll have to figure all of that out. But yeah, I really enjoyed Eat, Sleep, Anime on Saturday. We got a lot of cool things planned for it. It's going to be coming out for everybody at the end of the month. So everybody is going to be able to get to see it over on the YouTube channel and everything, which I'm excited to get everybody to see the logo, see the intro and everything, which the intro is absolute fire, 100%, and a lot of good conversations that were had during the episode. It's a long one, just because it's the intro of the show and everything, giving our backstory, kind of, where we came from with anime and everything, which a lot of us over here in America, we all watch Toonami and everything. But yeah, just a lot of good stuff from the show, and me and Derek had a blast. And again, thanks to everybody that came out and watched during it live. A lot of good interaction, a lot of good conversation and everything that came from it. So excited for everybody to see that. Excited to get back into streaming this week. Took last week off to really, focus on getting ready for Eat, Sleep, Anime, which there was a lot of work to be done there. Getting the notes together, which is kind of funny. Derek is way more steeped in anime than I am. I'm I say it on the episode that I'm an old head when it comes to anime. I watch Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, G Gundam, Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, that sort of deal, and just recently getting more into watching some of the newer stuff and all of that. But video games just feel natural to me, so I don't have to prep a ton when it comes to Nerd Cave News. I can skim the articles, at work before, we're doing the show and everything. But Eat, Sleep, Anime, I felt like I had to prepare a lot more, just because it's not necessarily in my wheelhouse, but it's not something that I do every day. I think about gaming, I watch a lot of stuff on gaming and everything, so it's just very interesting, the dynamic shift, which Derek knows a ton about gaming as well. I'm not saying that, but it's he puts in a lot more work for Nerd Cave News because he compiles everything. And then Eat, Sleep, Anime, which is kind of funny, is he compiles Nerd Cave News, and then I compiled Eat, Sleep, Anime and planned it, but it's the opposite and everything, which, it's funny. But yeah, really excited for that, but excited to get back into streaming this week. Played some Helldivers over the weekend and everything. And playing Helldivers, like, I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it. I told Amy this. I'm enjoying playing Helldivers, but like when I end my session with Helldivers, I don't necessarily feel like I accomplished a ton, if that makes sense. I don't feel like I like really accomplished anything, because like the story's not being moved forward, and yes, there's like a few liberation points, and it's for democracy and all that kind of stuff. I think it also is kind of like you're a cog in the wheel. It definitely does that well. But I definitely need to get back to Sea of Stars. Like I really need to get back into that so I can finish it. I'm so close to the end of it, which I'm excited about that, because they're also putting out a co-op mode for Sea of Stars, which is going to be couch co-op up to 3 players. I don't have anybody that would play with me. I wish it was online, but there's a lot of like timing things that you have to do with the game, like gameplay loop and everything, combat. So like you definitely have to, be in the same room to make sure to get that timing exactly right, or they would have to literally be on like the same kind of like server and integrity that like a fighting game like Tekken or Street Fighter or anything like that, where it's like it's got to be like right there when you press the button, it happens on the other screen. So but yeah, I'm excited about that. Hopefully one day I'll get somebody to play Sea of Stars with me. Maybe I'll convince Amy. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know. Do you think I can convince Amy to play Sea of Stars with me? But I really love that game. It's really awesome. But yeah, we have been watching a lot more shows. It's kind of not watching as much as we used to, because we used to binge shows like nobody's business. But we started and finished the 2 seasons of Abbot Elementary that is on Max. I think it's also on Hulu because it's like an ABC show and everything. But that show is so good. If y'all are looking for a good comedy, and it's pretty clean. It's not 100% clean, I will tell y'all that. But it's cleaner than a lot of other shows that are out there and everything. So I would highly suggest it if you are looking for a new show to watch. It is really funny. The characters are dynamic. There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek jokes. Being an educator for several years, it definitely brings up some memories and some trauma. Not even gonna lie. But it is really, really funny, because if you don't know what the show is about, it is a elementary school that is in East Philadelphia. I think it's East Philadelphia. It's in Philadelphia, and they are like severely underfunded. They are, kind of the lowest of the low in the, eyes of the school board and funding and all of that kind of deal. And I've worked at one of those schools. I worked at 2 of those schools actually, where they're essentially Title I, which means they get a lot of little help funding wise, but there's not enough to go around. Teachers don't have the supplies that they're supposed to and everything. But it creates a lot of interesting opportunities, because you have 2 older teachers that are kind of, one is Barbara, which I love Barbara. She's awesome. She is this 30-year veteran kind of lady, and she knows how to manage her classroom, how to structure everything. And then you have an Italian lady that is just like Spitfire, and she's a veteran, and she's hilarious. She is absolutely hilarious. And you have 2 newer teachers, Miss Teague and Mr. Gregory Eddy. And the craziness that goes on there is, well, there's 3, and there's Jacob, but the dynamics that are there. And then you have a principal that is horrible at her job, which we've all had principals that are horrible at their jobs. But the dynamic in the writing is great. They pair off the different characters with each other every episode and everything, so it makes it just very interesting. So I really enjoyed the show. I know they're already airing season 3, which I'm really looking forward to. Highly suggested. And then we started and finished Resident Alien, which is a sci-fi show. They're apparently recording or filming season 3 right now. And the show is definitely has a lot more language, a lot more stuff in it. But Alan Tudyk, which if you know Firefly, he was the pilot for Firefly. He's the chicken from Moana. He's been in a ton of stuff. Great actor, and his range in the show, like playing an alien, so good. So good. Cannot say enough good things about his performance. Some of the writing's not great, I will say that, but it's more of like the character stuff. There's one character in particular, like she's supposed to be, this kind of, she doesn't know where she's going in life. She's kind of this bum. She works at the local bar, but then she's going out and like saving people like on glaciers and just like weird stuff. Like it doesn't make any sense like half the time. Like I feel like they didn't really know where to put her character. But anyway, the show is really funny. It's this alien that comes to Earth that is supposed to destroy the planet, and something happens to his ship and he crashes on the planet with the bomb that is supposed to take out the whole human race. And to finish his mission, he takes the form of this human doctor, and he has to blend in. Well, the doctor in town gets murdered, so they come to him and make him the new town doctor. And all of these shenanigans are happening while he's trying to find this bomb. And it is very interesting. First season is super, super solid. Second season, there's some weird character stuff, not just with this one character, but with others. It gets a little cringy and a little weird, I will say that, especially with the innuendos and just very kind of crude humor that they use, and especially in the second season. Earlier on with this couple, which I didn't really like. Amy was not about it either, and it was just like, could have dealt without any of that. But the developments that are in season 2 are super twisty, very interesting. So if you're looking for a sci-fi kind of show and you don't mind the kind of content that's in there, like episode 1, you're going to kind of get the feel of what it is. It's on Netflix, and it's really interesting. It's really good. I enjoyed it. And the seasons are, the first season is definitely shorter. It's like 13 episodes. The second season is 20-something. So there's a lot more of that. I feel that there's a little bit more filler in season 2. But then closer to the end, it definitely picks up more. It kind of ebbs and flows in season 2, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely Abbott is the stronger of the two, just because it's more jam-packed, in my opinion. And then Resident Alien is if you are really feeling it, and looking for that kind of show. But I would highly suggest both of them if you're willing to have some of the content that's in those shows. Watch it and everything. But yeah, we watched those two shows. We started Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which, if y'all don't know what that is, it's a comedy that is based around a Brooklyn precinct with Andy Samberg. Is it Andy Samberg? And Adam Samberg? Yeah, I think it's Andy Samberg. SNL, Lonely Island. The show is hilarious. We've got Terry Crews in there. We've got a lot of people that you've seen, but you probably don't remember their names. But each character is really, really well done in their kind of personalities, motivations, lack of motivations, all this kind of stuff. And you're hearing all the squeaks and the rattles in my car. But anyway, just the way that it's shaped, and the police captain is probably many people's favorite character. But I like his interactions with all of the different cops, detectives that are in the show. Highly worth watching. It's definitely a network sitcom where there's a lot of episodes. Things do move forward pretty well. But yeah, I like the show. It is really well done. There's a lot of SNL people that will show up throughout the show, and just the amount of growth that has actually happened within this first season with the characters is pretty intriguing, because a lot of times with like network sitcoms, you know, we get something like Seinfeld, which none of them develop, and that's part of the charm of Seinfeld. Same thing with Friends, though. They don't develop. They kind of stay the same crappy people that they were from the beginning. But in this, like, they're definitely changing and growing, and it's nice to see. But there's a lot of great humor in there, a lot of good writing. So if y'all are looking for something like that, I definitely would check out Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But last night we finished the second book, and I'll probably talk about this on the stream and everything, but we finished the second book in the Farseer trilogy, The Royal Assassin. This the book right after Assassin's Apprentice. We finally finished that last night. We went through it pretty fast, and man, this book, guys, gets you so amped up in like the most painful ways. Like every time you turned around, something else bad was happening to not just our main character, but everyone in this book. It's just like one bad thing after another, and you're just like, oh my God, can this please, for the love of God, stop? Can we get rid of the things that are happening? Because my gosh. But we finished it last night. The ending, oh my gosh, the ending. Ooh, I won't spoil anything, guys, but that ending was something. That ending was something, let me just tell you. Man. But yeah, if y'all are looking for like a really good fantasy series, we're probably going to start the next book tomorrow night, just because I'm streaming tonight. But yeah, it's Royal Assassin's Quest is the third book in the trilogy, and there's a ton in this series. There's like 16 books, I want to say. They go throughout the whole journey of this kingdom and all that kind of deal. But yeah, we're starting the last one. But this book, guys, Robin Hobb does such an amazing job of crafting a narrative. Like, it is much better pace. Like, the first book definitely had slower moments, and you are going through this series. It's like at times it's day by day, sometimes it will jump forward, but it's very paced out where you're experiencing the whole thing with our main character, which is Fitz Chivalry. He's the bastard son of the heir to the throne, which the heir to the throne stepped down. His brother Verity became heir to the throne, and Chivalry, his father, died. So there's a lot in that. He's pledged to the king as his assassin, and he's being trained by the master assassin. And this book develops so well. The hurts, like just the character development, guys. Like, if y'all are looking for, like, I would say that if you liked Game of Thrones, but you want less of like the the romp, if you will. This is definitely a good series. There is some weird stuff in here, I will not lie. Some stuff, there's definitely, you know, some romping, but like it doesn't go into detail like Game of Thrones does. But there is some strange stuff in here. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just know that there is some, you're going to find it weird. I don't know who wouldn't find it weird, to be honest. But it does definitely paint an interesting picture, and I think you will really enjoy this. If you like the fantasy genre, if you like kind of higher politic-based fantasy, this is definitely a great book, and I really, really have been enjoying it. Royal Assassin, very, very good. Lots of cool story and plot that got moved forward in this book. The third book kind of ties this trilogy together. And the second trilogy, I don't really know that much about, but I know that it takes place more on ships. That's all I really know. But I am excited to get into those and everything. But yeah, we've done a lot of reading. I've been reading a book called, what is that book called? Deadly Education. It is kind of a Hogwarts-esque book. It's like these kids that are talented in magic. They have enough magic where monsters, it's kind of a mix of like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson. Monsters like come and feed on their mana, and all of that sort of deal, but if they're out in the real world, so they get put into this school called the Scholar Mance, and the school is, there's no teachers. It pretty much just produces what they need, but sometimes you have to ask multiple times. But it's super, super dangerous. You've got to make alliances or you'll get killed. There are monsters that like creep into the place. There's just so many different things that are going on in this book. And Amy read it for her channel, and she's talked about it. She read the physical book. I'm going to do in the audio book, which makes it a lot better experience, in my opinion. Just because the only time that I am putting anything into this is through when I'm driving to home from work. So I'm not like getting like hit with, you know, me putting a ton of time into it, other than, you know, passively listening to it and all that kind of deal. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, I'm enjoying the book. It's interesting. And like, I'm looking forward to getting back into, I'm assuming it's still green. Sun is like blasting my eyes. You can already see my driving right now. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking, like, I finished the first Thrawn book, really enjoyed it, started the second one, and I wasn't feeling it. I think I just needed to like kind of take a break from it. Usually I can like hit Star Wars book after Star Wars, but like the first Thrawn book was the first Star Wars book in a while that I was super enthralled with. Like the Rise of the Red Blade, Crimson Blade. It's like the one I talked about by S. Delilah or something like that. And it was interesting. It was good, but it wasn't like, oh man, this is like something that I gave it 3 stars, so it wasn't amazing. But yeah, so there we go, guys. That's pretty much all that we've been up to. I know I took off last week and everything, but I am looking forward to this week. It's going to be an awesome week. We've got the stream tonight, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and then we have Nerd Cave News on Thursday. I think it's just going to be me, and then next week we will have Yugi on to pitch hit, and then we will be making some shifts and changes with scheduling, which we'll talk about that tonight on the stream and everything. But guys, I'm here at work. It's time to get to work as I move my mic. It's time to get to work, guys. I'll see y'all on the stream.